Two Avengers assemble.
Hey, listen, we're the vanguard of the elite.
Oh, perfect timing.
I'm like, I'm here.
Perfect timing, Kerry.
I try.
I'm just about to tell a story.
Oh, Manimal story time.
So I don't know if you noticed, Carrie or John, about 4 minutes in, I forgot to hit mute or unmute.
When we were recording
when
at
we
the
were live
Smokers Club, we
Yeah.
were on mute for 4 minutes. Ike forgot.
That is
So
hysterical.
Ike forgot to hit unmute for 4
Well,
minutes
that's
of
all
the
right.
podcast. Yeah, Harry. Now it's a party. Avengers assemble.
I
We're
just
live.
realized my headphones aren't plugged into
Hold
anything.
on, I'm grabbing my
We're live.
I was like,
We're
why
getting
don't
better.
why don't I hear anything? It's because
So let me put you up to speed, Harry. So, Harry, we broadcasted live at the OC Smokers Club. We had a great time. Nice small crowd. We fucking laughed all night. It was great. So, but Ike, for 4 minutes of the broadcast, forgot to hit unmute. So we were muted. And I told him that that's a good sign of an artistic genius because I was watching an interview with Ozzy Osbourne once. And Ozzy Osbourne was like, he's like, some of the best music that I ever played, we ever played was never recorded. And the guy's like, what do you mean? He's like, oh man, we were blowing lines of coke for 3 hours and then we started playing. He's like, we're fucking rocking out. I mean, like the gods of metal out here. He's like 12 hours playing hard. He's like, no one fucking hit record. I'm like, oh fuck. So Ike's in good company.
I have had nights like that.
That's good.
You've had nights like, hey, I think we've all been there.
Yep, tripping out of mushrooms, went to go record the whole thing, never press record, never turned the tape over. And this was back in the day when it was like without recorders. It's pretty funny.
The first and only time it happened to me, well, I mean, with the interview was with Ray fucking Longo. And I go, and it just, my answers, none of Ray's, my questions, none of Ray's answers. And he goes, oh man, there was some pretty fucking good stuff there. And I was like,
too bad. The gods weren't ready for it. That's what happened though.
Imagine he broke some news. He's like,
oh, wait till you see Ike. Tomorrow night, I teach at law, and I have a shirt. The Many Faces of Ray Longo. It's like 24. It's like 24 little Ray Longo faces, all different colors, all different. Yeah.
Is it just different eyebrow height, each one?
Yeah. And different colors. So it's like green Ray Longo, red Ray Longo, black Ray Longo, which in the alternate reality, Ray Longo is black. And Matt Serra is 6'4". He's the heavyweight champ in the alternate reality. That's the one where Weidman's still champ too.
Planet 4428.
Yeah. Surprisingly though, Weidman looks
Best
the same.
thing to mention.
A different dimension,
Oh,
a way different dimension. But it's parallel.
Harry, how are you?
I'm good. I quit nicotine. So my solution to quitting nicotine is I'm just getting really, 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 really high for like a week.
I'm reading your energy, and it is like all sorts of Harry's either in deep thought or maybe he's like really hungover or high.
Yeah,
I was
the
like,
latter.
is he trying to like see a layout? I was like,
how long have you been without nicotine?
Since literally like 24 hours.
It's hard.
I didn't mean
it's a hard week, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna suck, but we're gonna power through. I'm done. We're doing it.
It's a great drug though if you use it properly.
I quit.
Thanks, Manimal.
If
What?
I quit, you could quit.
What's wrong with that? I think that there's a time and a place where everything could be utilized the right way, and nicotine has a lot of
I don't want to hear it.
I'm just saying, it has a lot of benefits as a stimulant.
Yeah, I know. They rule. I'm addicted to them.
Yeah, nicotine's an amazing stimulant. There's a lot of nootropics now that are putting like a tiny amount of nicotine in the stimulant, in the the nootropic. Like, what Alpha Brain is? Alpha Brain
That's
is
like the
the
Rogan
Advil.
shit, right?
Yeah, but Alpha Brain is like the Advil of nootropics. When you get to the really strong stuff, a lot of them put nicotine in it. A combination of nicotine and caffeine is actually very powerful. That's why guys love to smoke a cigarette and drink a cup of coffee.
Or you can have some pot drink recess.
Oh, that stuff's good, right?
I love it. It's only $3.99 a can. Not bad at all.
Kerry's on sales for OC Smokers Club today.
I'm on sales for everybody. I'm like, who? Who was
My
going to try?
crew loved it. They absolutely loved it.
Hmm?
Oh, good.
Apart
Yeah,
from-
one small turnout for that, but I was happy with it. I had a great time.
I had a great time. Apart from, like I said, the screen freezing, which was like the first time that's happened there, which we had like a whole new setup. So it is what it is.
Kerry, I'm proud of you. Your skills on the digital front improved that night.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think anybody noticed. But like the screensavers or airplay things, like everybody was in the air, like floating.
The only person that noticed was Ed.
No, my friend Ed is
like, can you put it on the laptop? I'm like, no.
Ed, my friend Ed is a super diehard MMA fan.
Why doesn't Jamal Hill just get up?
He was so funny.
Who said that? Did Ed say that?
I think Ed said
I think he was joking. What you
But
call
that
it?
said that the tattoo looked like Africa, and I just like lost my shit.
Oh,
And that's
my
what
friend
the joint.
Steve-
Someone
friend
said
Steve-
that his tattoo looks like Africa, and that's where I literally ripped the joint. I was like, well, can I roll
Kerry,
you?
my friend Steve. Those are my friends that live in
That was very
Islandia. Yo, he's so funny, that dude. He soups up racing cars.
I've never laughed. So that had me.
Oh my god.
Literally couldn't finish rolling the joint.
And when you fucked the joint up, it made me laugh even harder.
Because I never do that. And I was just like, literally, I'm like, I got to get a new paper. They're like, what happened? I'm like, to Africa. I just literally like
Africa.
I heard it and I was like,
and I didn't hear it at first. Kerry's cracking up. I was like, what'd you say his tattoo looks like? And he was like, Africa. And I was like, I looked at it, I was like, and then Kerry's like fucking ripping the whole joint apart because she's cracking up. She's like,
literally. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, okay, done.
Kerry, did you see all the fights?
Most of them.
I hear the drums echoing tonight, but she only calls Africa.
Oh my god, stop. Matt Serra's been playing that shit on fucking for days at the gym. I mean, I'm like, yo, Matt, you know what I heard? It rains down in Africa. I heard. All right. It's enough. I heard about it. How much more do you want me to hear about it? But definitely not in the Sahara Desert.
Okay, I'm back.
And Kerry is back.
I am. I had to go unlock my car so Frank could put something in there.
So, Harry, how do you feel about Glover Teixeira's fight?
Yeah, that sucks, man. Sucks. 205 is in Mickey Mouse division. I'm just waiting for Yuri to come back and claim what's his.
Yeah, I would have loved to see Glover win that fight, but I tell you what, as a grappler, I could speak from experience here. Jamala Hill's style is very difficult for the grappler like a Glover. All other things aside, like age and all that shit. A guy that throws a very nice uppercut is a pain in the balls for a grappler. There's tons of fights, right? Like that uppercut, very susceptible. If a guy throws
Derek Lewis, Curtis Blades.
Yeah, I could even think early to like Henzo Gracie, Dan Henderson. I don't know why that's the first one I thought of. Maybe it's the first one I remember in my head where a guy just got clipped with that little uppercut. But yeah, so I think stylistically bad. What do you think about Alex Pereira giving fucking death stare to Jamala Hill? Do you think he wants vengeance?
I think he would smoke Hill.
I think it'd be a good fight, actually.
I think that would be a great fight.
Yeah. Two good strikers. I mean, fuck. And
Let's have some fun.
Yo, Pereira, Jamala Hill's mad tall. And Pereira was looking down at him like that.
Yeah, Pereira's still bigger than him.
Pereira's still big. And imagine
it would be the ultimate, like, we know he's just been super petty to Izzy for their entire careers, and it would be the ultimate fuck you to also go up 205 and do what Izzy couldn't do and become a double champion. It would be perfect. It would just be
It's like
so
a big fuck
perfect.
you.
Yeah, such a
Like,
big
come
fuck
in.
you.
I beat you again, even though he did almost get finished, but whatever. He didn't. That's it. He
Right.
recovered and won.
We know he's extremely petty.
And extremely petty. I love that in a fucking fighter.
Oh, I love it.
I
Love
do
it.
like a certain amount of pettiness.
Genuine pettiness, genuine
Spite.
dislike.
Yeah, like don't like sit there and be like petty and put an act on it. Like if you're gonna be petty, like if you're an asshole, just be an asshole.
Right.
No, spite. Alex Pereira is all about spite. He's like, oh fuck you. He's like,
Look
I'll
how
beat you in-
Barstool, what they
Oh yeah.
Barstool savage as fuck.
Yeah,
With
that
Terrence
was
McKinney?
funny. Listen, I know people are like upset about that, but the thing I'll say about Terrence McKinney is like when you like anoint yourself the second coming and then also like search your own name on Twitter to call people with like 50 followers like pieces of shit or whatever and like sick all
What
your
did he do?
followers. He like say he name searches himself. You know what I mean? Like he searches his own name on Twitter and he finds people with like
Saying,
yeah, and he finds people with like 100 followers saying something mean about him, and he'll like reply to that person like "fuck you, dude," like get a job, get a life, and then I like people will harass the shit out of that guy, and it's like you know what, like if you're gonna be petty as fuck online, then when you get knocked out, people are gonna be fucking petty to you. Like
Yeah.
that's how it works. You give what you get, you know?
petty karma.
Right.
Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Exactly. You get what you give. So like
Listen.
I don't know.
And you got to take that shit gracefully.
I loved it.
Freaking,
Funny that they said that.
you knocked my boy out. Now, when you get knocked out, you got to swallow it and take it like a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
nobody wants to be a highlight reel, but like it is what it
now
fucking
you got to fucking take it like a man. That's
I
part of
would
being.
I would love to see him and Matt run that fight back with a full camp. I think that
Me
fight goes
too.
very, very differently.
Totally different fight. With a full camp, they switched that opponent last minute. That's a very unorthodox guy to fight the first fucking time you know, in 3 days notice. It's an unorthodox guy to fight.
Mhm.
Is everyone else on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just see myself.
You could switch
Yeah.
the camera. You could
But
switch
no,
the
I mean, I talked to
did it without
Jimmy
me
about
doing
that. He was talking to
doing it.
you know, he was training for Camacho that whole camp. He came out McKinney, I believe, yeah, Camacho was a southpaw, McKinney's orthodox. Came out, just parried the wrong way when Terrence threw that 1-2, and that was it. That was the only mistake it took. So like that shit matters.
Sometimes you zig when you should have zigged.
Right, exactly. So like give them both a full camp to prepare for the other, and let's run that fight back. That would be a fun one.
You know, maybe, but I like to see Steamroller keep moving up. Steamroller's coming off 2 really impressive first round KOs
Yeah.
against a good contender series guy and a guy UFC was really. If you listen to the commentary, UFC wanted
100%. 100%.
Listen to the commentary, you know right away.
Apparently the
favorite?
Aztecs are boys with some like Moroccan like chic prince or something like that. So they're
Yeah,
like a big
that's
part
right.
of the UFC's plans for like MENA expansion, like Middle East and
Andrew
Northern
Tate.
Africa.
That makes a lot of sense.
So it's all a business thing.
And you know what I say to that? Go fuck yourself. You know?
Yeah.
You
No,
got
if
right-
it was anybody else, he would have been cut for good after the whole fucking bag thing.
yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, are you a fucking professional sport or are you into sports entertainment? If you're sports entertainment, you can do whatever fuckery you want.
They see
Bring
it.
guys back, take guys out. This guy can have a picogram. This guy can have a title shot when he's nowhere near the line. If you're sports entertainment, you could do that. If
Yeah.
you think you're a real fucking promotion, you got to have a bracket and fucking #1 contenders fight for the title all the time.
So
So that's why I don't like UFC. Another point.
well,
Right.
you kind of said it yourself that they like if you listen to any of Dana White's interviews about how they modeled the UFC, it was after WWF because WWE wasn't in existence at the time.
Thank you.
That's the business model they took. So it's absolutely more of an entertainment promotion than it is a fight. I mean, you're in there fighting, but it's definitely there's a huge entertainment factor. Look at who's their backers. What is it? WMEIMG?
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Yeah, it's Endeavor.
Boom.
Media
I've
company.
known about them since I was like in high school, and everybody wanted to be a model or an actress, and that's like the top companies you went to. So I know a lot about that shit, and I know That's it's all for money. Everything
It's
that
all media
all
company.
entertainment.
It's entertainment.
Why
And
do
I'm fine
you
with that. I love entertainment and showmanship. But as far as the actual sport of it, like you can have as much entertainment and showmanship as you want.
he can't not cross those lines? If you look at it, it's almost I think an ego thing with him, where those lines, it's like it's everything. If it's gonna make more money and get more of a draw, he's a numbers guy. He's a lot like Trump in that respect. That's why they're friends. Don't that's something I always put into consideration when I think about him. I'm like, well, he's got to be a numbers guy. He's got to be more. And if you think about it and look at the fights that he puts together and the way that he acts, like he's untouchable, that makes a lot of sense too.
And look at how they got Pereira the title shot. It was like they like played the board.
Obviously deserved though. However, I will say this: he dusted Sean Strickland in like a minute. You almost kind of got to put him. You got to put him in, especially with the storyline.
That was fair. And Sean was what, 4 at the time?
Exactly. So now you're 4th ranked.
Right.
A top 5 guy, if the stars line up right, can fight for the title. Usually the number 1 contender should fight. But let's say the number 1 contender is hurt. The number 2 guy just fought. You might get to the number 4 or 5 guy.
Right. I think Whitaker's booked already. I think him and Vittori was booked.
Now you're at number 4. Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
So a lot of people don't know this, but the Barclays bus incident, UFC PR was escorting the Conor McGregor posse down to the loading dock. Like they showed them how to get there.
I'm sure
the elevator
they did.
with them.
That's not surprising whatsoever.
And then they talked about how horrible it was, and then they used it in promo packages to sell the fight.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
Yeah, like come on.
Odds did swerve that for Al Iaquinta to have the best title performance against Khabib.
That's right.
Everything happens for a reason.
I wonder if that fight.
I wouldn't be surprised if Al texts Conor. He goes, "Should I move now?"
I wonder if that fight took a lot out of Al, actually, because he fought at his top game. You know what I say about like fighting John Jones? Everyone comes in and they blow fucking 5 loads out there. Right? It's like they're fucking a porn star. They go there.
He did have his best performance after that against Kevin Lee.
Yes. Good point. No, wasn't that before that?
No, the Kevin Lee fight was after that.
They had one before, one after, and then the Cowboy shit was
his knee was fucked up. You know what? It could be an on and off thing too with Al. Your knee feels good. All right. Now your knee doesn't. Even before that Cowboy fight, I remember him having a knee issue. He was at the PI for months and months getting his knee worked on. And the guys at the PI, he walked in one day and they're like, "We don't even know what to do for you at this point." Like, sometimes when you're fucked up.
Exactly what you want to hear.
Yeah, right. That's what you want to hear when your therapist is like, "Bro, I don't know what I'm doing here." Like your knee's fucked. And then sometimes it'll be like, "Okay." Right? So it's definitely funny, but I think no, not Al. Steamroller, I think at the PI they gave him the stem cells and he said that was really good.
He said it worked really well.
Yeah. That's what I hear. I hear everyone that does it, they say it works really well.
Mike, so let's take a trip to Vegas, fix my shoulders.
You know what? If you need it, please, luckily, I've been all right.
Oh, I'm a disaster with my hips and my shoulders. I'll fucking pay out of pocket. I don't care. And that's all from just one accident. Like one bad fucking morning.
Oh, you know what I just bought? I told you I was gonna buy it, that iron neck. It was like $400, but I was like, my neck has been killing me. And I figured, fuck it. It looks like it works. I used it as soon as I got it, of course, because it's $400. So it actually felt pretty good though.
Throw it away.
Huh?
I used it once, throw it at the corner.
No, I got it right here. I got it close. I was thinking of bringing it to the gym.
That's so funny.
I think Marab had one of those at the gym at one point.
The iron neck? No. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
It rotates on a track.
Yeah, like he would tie it to the cage and then like he would do pad work with it like attached to him.
That seems weird because this thing rotates a lot. It's supposed to just be for neck exercises.
So how close is it to you, John? Can you demonstrate? I have to see this.
Yeah, let me see if it's the same thing. And
Yes.
also, would it really be that shocking if Marab was using it in a completely
Do
insane
you
way?
see this? It's like a halo.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
same shit.
this halo goes on my head, and then I have a. Do I look retarded? And then I have a chin strap, and then this rotates right around my head. There's a band that gives resistance, so you could go this way, and then rotate.
Yeah, so Marab would tie that band to the cage and then
What
do
the
like press
what is that?
forward.
Wait, not idiot. And then you do it to the back, and you can do all these like neck exercises. And it only has like it's like 25 pounds of resistance, and you do like 5 minutes a day. And it's supposed to, fix your neck. So my neck's been fucked up for a minute. I had got into a car accident last February. I have 2 bulging discs and some herniated discs in my back and bulging discs, all this bullshit. Never really felt my neck a problem before that, but I took like 3 months off. Then it felt okay. Now it feels shitty again, but I am doing jujitsu, 6 days a week, sometimes 2 a day. So I'm sure that's not exactly helping it. So hopefully this helps. I'll keep you guys posted. I'm going to use it for 2 weeks, and maybe we'll do a gear review. I used to do those. I think we should bring those back.
I needed to
Gear
see.
review. Hey,
Yeah.
soldier. Because there's so much good gear to buy. I tell you what, the best thing about training for like over 20 years is I see all the different changes in gear and equipment from when I started. Like when I first started training, in no gi was just like a fucking pair of Speedos and like no top or just like a t-shirt. And now it's nice that we have like board shorts, nice rash guards, nice gis. It's, let me tell you, nice equipment, better gloves. I tell you what, fancy screen printed like the Thor gloves. I never had Thor gloves back in the day. If you had a pair of Reyes, they were nice. They were high quality, but they just look plain. Now I got my Thor gloves. I got Thor wraps. Oh, it's so nice. I have rash guards. Kerry, her wardrobe is ever increasing.
I can't stop.
How many gis do you own?
Well, 3. And the one that you got me that like is just shrunk so much. Like I can't
waters.
Huh?
They're like high waters.
Like up to here. I mean, they all shrink, but like
it shrunk.
Yeah, a lot. It is what it is. My Fuji one didn't shrink too much.
The Fuji one stayed true. The one I have from Sarah's is Fuji also.
Yeah. The tatami
pretty true. Is that Fuji one the one with the flowers on it? That one's cute.
Yeah, they actually. I'm always. You know me. I'm always looking, and they just got them in black with the flowers.
Ooh, gold flowers.
Oh, and then Tatami got ones that's like it's called I think Roar or something, and it's got tiger stripes on the inside. It's really cute.
Ooh. So what do we got? We had a few things this week. Glover retired. Which,
yeah.
I would have loved to see him go out on a win, but in pro wrestling, you're supposed to go out on a loss to give the other guy a boost.
Mm.
So from the pro wrestling standpoint, that's the way you're supposed to go out on a loss. From an athlete, everyone, of course, wants to go out on a win, especially in Brazil. Kind of sad, Would have loved to see Glover submit him late in the 5th. That would have been great.
That would have been awesome.
Oh, well. And then Shogun, they did dirty. They really could have gave him a better fight. I hate,
They did Shogun so
100
dirty.
times. I hate when the fucking UFC does this to a legend.
I
They
know.
take a guy like a Shogun or like a Frankie Edgar and they give him a young up-and-coming fighter. And it's fucking not right.
No.
It's just not right, and they should fucking be ashamed of themselves.
I don't think there's
They
any.
fucking let Dana White fight a fucking 25-year-old killer. That guy's never fucking. I want to see that guy get his face broke in the street.
Yeah,
Let me tell you this. What a fucking bitch pussy. I would love to elbow him right in his fucking mouth.
Sounds like, can I slap?
Mouth. Slap fighting. That's
I'm
the
kidding.
stupidest shit ever, too. I'm going to stand there and let you fucking hit me. Fuck you. No, but I think that's a stupid sport, too. Hold on. Let me measure up on you to hit you. The whole
that
point
shit's
of
dumb
combat
as
is
fuck.
not to get hit.
Oh, it's so stupid.
And
So-
you can go 6 days. And 6 days is the minimum time off between fucking slap fights. So you could just get like domed in one of those and do it again a week later.
That's so dumb.
Someone's gonna die doing that shit.
Yeah. I literally watched it just to see the clip that someone had up. I'm like, oh, this looks okay.
I didn't watch that shit. I'm not.
Okay. Oh,
watching
John,
that.
see, we're bringing the word back. Looked very
I
good.
would like to bring the word gay back to mean stupid.
No, we're not bringing the word gay back.
What? Why not?
We're just not gonna do that.
Why not?
No.
It's like the word retarded. It has like its actual.
No, retarded is back.
Yeah, that is back fully.
Retarded's back.
Slow to
When
learn.
used appropriately, it's back.
Yeah, just because people put
And
their
you can call yourself retarded as much as you want.
and I will
That's my
never
other
call
rule.
anybody else. You know, I'm not gonna say my friends are that. Jeez. But we're bringing the word back.
Only if it's my best
The
friend.
things. I always say it. I'm like, and people look at me I'm like, stop. Don't be stop.
Don't be so sensitive.
We can't. We can't. You know why? Because then, like, what are we gonna take away? Everything?
Well, then you're gonna kill comedy.
There are people that
the
don't
problem.
like the word moist. There are girls that get very upset about that word. If you're talking
Oh, my
about
friend got pissed at me yesterday. My friend got pissed at me. She was like, "Oh, that word." I was
see,
like,
and it's like, okay, so are we gonna get our word?
Harry, do you like that word?
What me?
No, Harry.
What?
Moist.
I mean, it is a weird word, but like whatever. Who
I-
cares?
No, some people have like a visceral objection to it for some reason.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I get it. I get it. I
Okay,
I
well,
understand the like.
Oh, that should be the name of the episode.
I love it. Moist.
It's moist. Moist. That's
I
it.
understand the dislike. I understand not. I
Like, how you
understand
should
the
think-
aversion to that word. Like I don't personally. It's not
It
that
describes
visceral
something.
for me,
Yeah,
but I get it.
Like, it's not like something I say every day, but like I know that people don't like that word, so sometimes I'll say it just to like see people's reactions. I actually don't have any like words. No, there are no words I don't really like that offend me like that. Yeah, I can't think of anything I want to cancel.
I don't think I can say what I want to say.
People, maybe there's like a group of people out there that I would love to say just shouldn't be on the planet, but and those are, you know, people that touch kids. Apart from that, to each their own.
John wants the word taxes canceled.
The word what?
Taxes.
Taxes. Yeah, I agree with that.
All kinds of fines, all that shit.
Cancel
Like-
tax.
I want to cancel homeowners associations. I don't believe in homeowners associations.
So I think that like with the move
That's more justifiable than
too, you know.
No, those are terrorists.
maybe, but the big. I mean,
Terrorists,
at
Harry.
least they're not sending money to another fucking homeowners association.
I don't understand the implication.
Okay, so when I pay my taxes,
Yes.
that money goes to a bunch of different shit.
Yes.
And that easily, federal taxes, goes to another country.
Probably.
So if your homeowners association, your country, gave your money to another homeowners association you weren't part of, then I can understand you being upset about it. Do they use the money?
I don't think my homeowners association should have the right to tell me how I can cut my yard or what I can
Well,
put in
this
my
is
fucking
bullshit.
yard.
Now
and
we're
shit.
talking about a different subject here.
Well, I'm fundamentally opposed to homeowners associations.
Hold on, we're talking about a different subject. Okay?
No,
Let me tell you the subject we're talking about.
Harry.
Private property. How the fuck can your homeowners association tell you what to do with your property?
that's right. That's right. I
That's
agree.
a private property issue. That's not a homeowners. How can your homeowners
No,
association?
no, it is a homeowners association issue.
No, I'm going to tell you what. Here's their homeowners' responsibility. Homeowners associations have one responsibility: maintaining common areas. That's it.
Their real responsibility is maintaining value of people's homes.
Yeah, you maintain the common area. You maintain your home. Do you want your home to look like shit?
My yard isn't a common area. That's my yard.
Not really. No. What's your property? Your property is not common area. If it's your property, if on your deed that's your property,
That's what I'm
that's not
saying.
common area. That's your property.
That's what I'm saying. So how can they regulate my yard?
They shouldn't. It's bullshit. They should only regulate common area, like the pool,
Yeah.
the gym. That's it.
I don't have any of those things.
So what the fuck are you paying for?
That's gay.
Like the homeowners association should have common things, a laundry room. Like there should be something your money's going for. Otherwise, why the fuck are you doing it? Then you could just get together with the guys in your neighborhood.
Yes, that's the point I'm making.
Can we just keep the neighborhood clean?
Meeting or some shit.
That's it. Can we have a neighborhood meeting, right? You could do it just regular. We'll fucking have a Zoom call with the neighborhood meeting, Like you can make it easy. I agree with you. Like private property shit.
That too.
That's a private property issue. Why is the homeowners?
So we're going to get rid of homeowner associations. We're going to get rid of the IRS. What else? Anybody?
I think some real estate tax you do need though.
Well, okay. So that would fall under new sales items tax, flat rate, to consumption tax.
I guess.
It would.
Just a flat rate.
How many people that buy it all the time? The amount of fucking taxes that we pay, that people are like, just stupid gas, you name it. It's absurd. They tax you on everything. There's nothing we're not taxed on. Nothing.
They put their hand every fucking where. I got a gas tax, a cigarette tax.
That's what I'm saying.
Alcohol tax.
Just for you,
the weed shit is going to start
to get paying a lot in fucking taxes.
Watch what happens with all the weed stuff. First, they're collecting fines.
Yep.
So now they turned in something that was supposed to be bad for prosecuting all these weed-related offenses. Now all those dudes over weed shops, and they're like, while you're in process for the permit, you can't sell this. We're going to take it and fine you $5,000 times 1,000. And then they'll be like, we'll be back in 2 months. And hopefully, you got your permit by then. But if you didn't, I hope we don't see you selling anything. So it's like, now you're going to make mad money in fines. Then you're going to wind up putting a tax on it so that you make more money off of it. Before, I just fucking gave my guy $40 and bought a bag.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be, I'm going to have to pay $100. It's going to wind up. Watch what I'm telling you. It's going to be $100 for an eighth soon.
Yeah, you know what everybody's going
to watch what I'm telling you. Remember this.
A street guy.
We'll see. I'm right. In New York, it'll be 108th at the dispensary.
Sorry, I got my own dude.
I'm just saying, at a store, they're gonna jack it up and make it,
Well, again, they regulate it. They regulate it to tax it, to fine you. It's stupid.
Has regulation ever made anything cheaper?
So dumb.
I don't know. I'm asking actually a serious question. I don't know. Has regulation ever made anything cheaper? Does anyone know? I can't think of it, but I'm just asking.
I would assume so. I mean, I know that there was a point in, I believe it was Chicago, where they had to put they put a rent freeze in place, like a price cap on rent that certainly made rent cheaper for like everyday people during a housing crisis. I would argue that worked.
Well,
okay. That's good. That's a good example. I would wonder, of course, why, but that's a different issue. That's a different topic.
Oh,
I can see.
Sure. Why aren't they doing that now?
What?
That's an excellent question.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like with everything going on, people are freaking out about the price of eggs. I've been hearing so much of that recently.
A rent cap would go a very long way.
It would, but you want to know what? They're so happy watching all of us suffer and like fight over stupid shit that like they're not going to do that. I mean, you never know. You never know. There might be, some of the bills that I'm hearing about and that I'm seeing that are being put on the floor and into the committee and shit like that. Because it has to take their steps before it goes to actual get voted.
This is what I'm saying about not paying so much in taxes. If you had 40% more money, none of this would be an issue.
No, it wouldn't. But that's the problem is that, until that bill passes.
If you had 40% more money, Harry, you wouldn't be having any issue there.
You have to know
40% more income. Just whatever you make now, whatever you take home, just tack 40% on it. Right.
But you think if somebody's told you guys they just eliminated the IRS and got rid of all illegal taxation, the only thing you have to pay is new sales items tax or a consumption flat rate tax of like 8% or whatever they're going to do. That'd be like the best news I ever heard. Well, that bill is actually in circulation. Let's hope they fucking vote on that.
There was no federal tax until 1913.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. And think about it. Once you institute the Federal Reserve, taxes, what comes 15 years later? Great Depression. Interesting. I'm not saying it's correlation and causality, but interesting observation. You know.
And I could tell you a lot of fighters that would be happy about it, because wouldn't that affect their taxes that they pay?
Of course. That's why Aljo had to move to Vegas.
There you go. So this might, this could be the best thing to happen to everybody. And I've heard about this for a long time. My dad was saying it years ago. They need to get rid of the IRS. They need to just do it like whatever flat rate. Well, here you go. It's actually like could possibly happen.
And you whatever. So think about
That's
take
huge. Whatever. That's huge.
let's take Aljo as an example. In New York, you have 9% tax on your income, right? Just from the state. Forget about the federal. You're gonna have to pay the federal. The state taxes you 9% additionally. Now, let's say you get paid $500,000 for a fight. That's about 50 grand. If you live in New York, that you have to pay. That if you live in Vegas, you get that extra 50 grand. And who doesn't want 50 extra $1,000? So you almost have to, it almost pays to get a house in Vegas and move to Vegas to save all that money. The mortgage on his house, I bet, isn't 50 grand a year. So it's better to just fucking to live in Vegas if you're a prize fighter who fights anywhere, right? And then you pay the tax for your state, which is no state tax, right? As opposed to New York. So smart move, and then I'm a New York City resident, so I'm a bigger dumbass because I pay 4% city tax on top of that, which what the fuck am I doing? But whatever. So yeah, can we talk about fights? My bad. This is just upsetting me. And when I think about all the money I spent in taxes when I had my gym and I was making like mad money. Oh my God. What?
I said, let's all hope that bill passes then. We'll all burn our fucking tax forms. That'll be great.
Gilbert made it quick, Ike. Real quick.
This is the way it should be. He looked like he was drilling.
I think that's exactly who Neil Magny is. He's a perfect gatekeeper for the top 10 at welterweight. But once he faces anybody who is anything more than just average, and I do think I have Gilbert in the elite of welterweight. Magny Magny has nothing for them. Nothing for him.
Yeah.
I don't think he has anything for any of the top 5 in the division.
He was drilling. He could. It looked like he was just drilling, warming up with a white belt in class. It looked like he just grabbed Ike and was like, "Yo, can I try this move out on you?" Boom, boom, boom. Head and arm choke. He's like, you suck so much that I'm gonna leave my leg in between your legs, and it's not even gonna matter. You know?
I mean, he just squeezed him.
Yeah, he was. I fucking squeeze you. Yeah. Oh, Kerry, that reminds me. I gotta show you my Calistine throws the leg over the back for that choke.
Yes.
First, before he falls. Money for you. So, but Burns, great jujitsu. I would love to see him and Colby Covington fight. I think that'd be a banger. I'd love to see that fight. Ooh. As a fight fan, that's excited, yeah. Because Colby is way better than people give him credit for. He's a fucking stud.
Disagree. I think Colby is overrated.
He went 5 rounds with Usman twice.
I think that says more about the level of Usman than it does about the level of Colby.
Bilal Muhammad was on Rogan.
Colby's only fucking.
I think Usman before.
Colby doesn't have. He has no top 10 wins. He beat the ghost of Tyron Woodley and the ghost of Damian Maya. And those are his 2 best wins. He's never
he's a Ghostbuster.
I tell you what.
He's never beaten anybody in his prime in the top 10.
He still won.
I guess. I just don't think Colby. I mean, his striking is terrible. He's got pillow hands. Gilbert is absolutely better than him in the stand-up, without question. And Gilbert's got great jiu-jitsu, so I'm not sure. Gilbert is going to be more comfortable off his back than most guys Colby will be fighting. I think it's a bad matchup.
Which is what makes it an exciting matchup for me. Right. How's Colby's defense? I think it's better than expected. So I personally think Colby's way underrated.
For what reason? Why?
Okay, so before Kamaru Usman lost, everyone was saying he's the second coming of fucking Wakanda out here. Now he loses one fight, and guys are like, you know what? That guy's overrated. He has no wins. Okay, fine. Did he Masvidal? I like that as a win. I think Masvidal, some guys say he's a gatekeeper. He's in the top 10 out there. He's a tough opponent, who's always dangerous.
Not an elite win.
Not an elitist. No, it's not the most elite win.
No, but he's good.
Who else do we got? Yes, he also. Who did he beat? Robbie Lawler. That was a good win. Robbie Lawler
was a good win, but Robbie was
and
already.
Robbie Lawler came back and won fights after that. It's not like
Robbie was a little over the hump.
A little over. All right.
But yes, that's a good win.
Level of fucking 42 was fighting for the title. A little over.
You know what I mean, though. Robbie wasn't the same. He wasn't in his prime when they fought.
It wasn't like the guy was on a terrible skid that never ended.
No, he wasn't BJ Penn out there, but
you know what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
Right. But you know what I mean. There's a difference between beating.
Now, but that's what comes to mind. Yeah. So I love the fight with Gilbert Burns, and I thought Gilbert Burns looked great against Khamzat. Although I think Khamzat might be overrated. I don't know how you feel about that.
I think if that fight went 5 rounds, Gilbert clearly wins the fight. I think Khamzat was completely gassed at the end of 3. Gilbert looked like he could have kept going.
Yeah, Gilbert was doing good in that fight. He was hitting him, I mean, he did get rocked, Gilbert, a little, but nothing too crazy.
No, not at all. I would love to see them run that one back as like a fight night main event because like I do believe that over 5 rounds Gilbert would have won that fight.
I agree
and maybe over 5 rounds Khamzat has to manage himself differently and he has to manage the gas tank and the output and the volume differently. But I don't know. I think that would favor Gilbert, the much more experienced fighter in that situation.
I'd have to say so.
When's Khamzat coming back?
Huh?
That's a great question, too. And I don't know if they trust him to make 170 after the fucking debacle last time. He might just be fighting at middleweight now.
That's another guy that I'm like, why is the UFC sucking that guy's dick?
Right. But, like, you know what I mean? He missed by, 9 fucking pounds? How do you book that guy at 170 again?
And the UFC sucking his dick about it. No big deal, buddy. You only missed by 10 pounds. And we had to pull in Kevin Holland off the bar stool.
Right.
And have a fucking fight. But that's the MMA gods having to step in and be like, stop.
Tony versus Nate. We deserve this.
Stop. Nate versus Tony. The universe is like, this is what you're supposed to do. And the UFC did not take the lesson. And they still booked Shogun with fucking Patera. So, they'll have what's coming to them. The gods of war are not happy about all this shit. Letting you know. I'm just letting you know. Huh?
For shame.
For shame, right?
We waved the finger of shame again.
That's right.
Shame. But yeah, so Khamzat missed by 10 pounds. And they're like, no problem, big guy. The fuck is that? Imagine you fuck up at work by a grievous amount. And your boss is like, don't worry. And another one of your guys messes up at work a little bit and he gets fucking fired. You'd be like, thanks, boss. He's the best boss ever. You're like, oh, shit. No, but why does he get that favoritism, right? Like, it would be weird. Like if you, I don't know. I'd have to know you exactly how your work went to give you a good example to relate to you. But he's essentially getting preferential treatment. Him, John Jones, they show you who their favorites are.
Preferential treatment. That motherfucker could probably sacrifice one of Dana White's children. He'd be like, that's all right. He just did.
Now I know why Dana White likes John Jones.
It's fine.
They both are fucking handsy with their women.
Yes.
Right? Didn't John Jones get arrested for that shit too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For hitting.
The day or the night of he was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Let me tell you this. If I was a heavyweight and crushed John Jones, In my imagination, anyway.
In my mind.
Although the truth is, as a heavyweight, I'd be a big pussy. I'd be like, I never got into a fight before. Why I had to? I was big. Who else do we want to talk about?
That was the longest pause.
I mean, yeah, we had Moreno Figgy. Went a very different way than I thought it was gonna go. I thought it was gonna be the Figgy show, but I don't know. He says he's going up to bantamweight now. Just can't make 25.
He looked really lean at 25. Like those weigh-in pictures, it looked like
He looks very sucked out.
You know what it looked like? Remember Rocky when he covers the slabs of beef with like the close wrap, like the wrap, and it's tight. It looked like that. Someone did that with his muscles. They just put like a skin wrap over his just fucking body. He was so tight. So maybe there's something to that. But he also did get a knuckle in his eye, which is, hey, listen, it fucking happens. The ref don't say shit. You got to know as a dirty fighter yourself. Sometimes these things happen. But yeah, that was the beginning of the end for that shit. So
For sure.
But yeah, how does Figgy do in the 35-pound division? Who do you think would be a good first matchup for him?
That's a good question. Maybe maybe you do like Pedro Munoz.
Okay.
Have Moreno move up.
The 5th time. So what would that be called?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. We knew this. Pentology.
Yeah.
What?
I would be okay with Munoz.
At
Or
35,
weren't they gonna book him and Cody Garbrandt at one point at 35? Fuck it, do
Cody
that.
needs to retire. He's taken too much damage. He's been knocked out too many times.
Yeah.
I like Cody, but he really.
I mean, he's clearly shot, but like
He never recovered properly after the second knockout to Dillashaw. Is how I feel. That's just my opinion. That he never recovered properly. He didn't take enough time off to get everything straight. Concussion, very individual, how long it takes. But man, I tell you what, my general rule of thumb is if you get knocked out, minimum 6 months before you should start getting hit in the head again. Even that's in training. So I know this is terrible to say for a fighter. And, 9 months if you get knocked out, which is tough because you have to fight to get paid.
Yeah.
I think Charlie's doing it right. It seems like he's really easing back into it.
Yeah, which is what you should do. It sucks because you only have a limited window and fights per year and you have to get paid. But if I had the luxury of doing it however I felt was right, I'd give that guy 9 months. Unless it was a situation where maybe it was like a TKO where he was a little rocked but not really out. But if he got fucking out, like Kamaru Usman out, that dude needs 9 months. Right? That's just...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's
would
fair.
be safe. Because we also don't know, and we're starting to see it with other sports, a long-term effect of that.
Yep.
So the short-term effect, but now if I'm stretching 20 years out, what does it look like if you got knocked out 7 times in a row?
Right. The sport's too young. We don't have 80-year-old MMA fighters.
And look at boxers.
I was just going to say.
The dude who's, what do you call that? Punchy. Why is that a term? Because fucking guy's punchy. Right? He got knocked out.
A little punch drunk.
Yep.
Punch. Yeah, right? And so these things, right, can be mitigated with time. But, those boxers that are punchy probably were fighting once a month on a schedule. And if you got knocked out, 30 days, and then you can fight again. I used to know guys back in the day that would fight like every weekend and go to different states, different athletic commissions, right? And
Yeah.
then they would fight like, 4 times a month, especially in the Midwest, Ohio, Kentucky,
I mean,
Pittsburgh.
look at the ties. They fucking Muay Thai. They fight fucking once or twice a week, every week for like like years and years and years on end.
That's why
Once a week,
they
I think, is common when they're young.
Yeah. But yeah, you
Also,
wind up with 200 pro fights by the time you're 24, 23 years old, 24 years old.
yeah, I always wonder about all this. I always think about this because it's weird because you'll have a guy who has like 200 fights, and then he'll fight a guy who's like 6-2 and lose. And it's like, how much XP are you getting from these fights? I always wonder. I mean, am I wrong about this? You see this happen.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's uncommon either. You can find a bunch of American dudes who have like 8 fights or 10 fights going to Thailand and beating a guy who has 150 fights. Huh?
True. They have like 500 fights and they're like 12. It's being very facetious there. But
I wonder about this. So if I think about Dungeons and Dragons, every fight has a challenge rating, which gives you a certain amount of experience points. And the problem is when you have these fights as a kid, you're probably only getting like 1 or 2 XP. Because the CR is low. It's another 0th level person. It's like fighting kobolds. They're quarter XP. It's like, I killed 1,000 of these things and I didn't gain a level. So is that what happens? I don't know. Until they get to like adulthood and then those fights start becoming real XP. Like at what point is the XP significant? And it could be from an early age if you had 2 little badass kids fighting. But I think a lot of times it probably is. This is just what I see in jiu-jitsu. 1 or 2 badass kids, and it'll be like a bunch of like scrubs. I guess that's most things.
Yeah, usually.
What does Ragnar say? In every battle, 10 people shouldn't even be there. Out of every 100 men, 10 shouldn't even be there. 80 are just targets. 9 are fighters. And it's an honor to have them because they make the battle. But only 1 is a warrior, and he can bring the others back. So that,
John, you're so funny.
So I like that.
Words of wisdom.
And when I look at the gym, I always think about this too. It's like out of 100 guys, you get like 1 or 2 warriors. Those are like the Aljos, Marabs, right? The that. And then you get fighters. Right? You get 9 fighters.
The guys who are truly special.
Truly special, that's a warrior.
Right.
Then you got the fighters. Those guys are the Nazes, right? The Charlies, the Bazookas. Now they can become a warrior, right? Like that's right.
Right.
But think about how many dudes. So 10 dudes shouldn't even be there. And those are the students that you're like, the fuck is this person doing? Right? Tell me that you don't see some people and you're like, the fuck is that guy doing? Like what? Like today I was at Henzo's and a guy came in 37 minutes late to class. Kerry, would that give you a heart attack?
I wouldn't even show up.
You can't show up 1 minute late.
If I'm going to be late, I don't come.
If Kerry's not early, she don't go.
I like to, because I like to, be down there at least 5 minutes early before class is going to start to stretch. So if I'm going to walk in there late, I'm not walking in. That's how I was like that with everything. School, work, I gave no fucks. I have my own time clock.
So hold on. So today, this guy comes into Henzo's 37 minutes late. And one of the black belts just is shaking his head and he's like, how are you going to expect to get better when you came at the end of class?
Yep.
And it's like, that could be the guy who's like, just, what the fuck is he doing there, right? He's like, I'm trying this out. I get right. Then 80 guys are targets. Those are guys you train with. They're just targets. You need all those guys. You need targets on the battlefield. So I think it makes sense. The original quote, though, is
They would have
actually
made bread and churned butter in medieval times.
the original quote, though, is actually attributed to Heraclitus. Probably, you know, through Romanization, he picked that up and was like, "Oh, that sounds dope. I'm gonna say it." He Steve Maraboli'd it, you know. He found the quote, not attributed to anyone that he knew of.
He's like, "My quote now, bitch."
He's like, "This is my quote now." I heard this. I never said it's anonymous. And you know what? This was anonymous, but now I will reveal myself as the author. Well, that would be funny if you just took all the anonymous quotes.
Like, am I?
And just said, now I'm going to tell you I am the author.
It's like a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode. You guys ever seen that with the anonymous art?
Anonymous donor.
Yeah.
A little pretentious, don't you think, to donate anonymously and everyone knows you donated?
Yeah.
Because he donates anonymously, but everyone knows it's why can't I remember
Ted Danson.
Ted Danson, that's right.
Yeah.
The Ted Danson sandwich.
Always had a hard on for Ted Danson, Larry David. I've been watching Seinfeld again because it's on reruns like the time I cook during the day, so I throw it on. And Larry David in Seinfeld has such a hard on for Ted Danson. His character, right, George, is always like, that Ted Danson, I'm a better actor than Ted Danson. I was like, man, this guy had a hard on for Ted Danson forever. He's like, that guy's going to work for me. And look, that works for him. If you're on Larry's show, he's the producer, the director, right?
Yeah, not wrong.
Not wrong.
Oh, all right.
I was like, see, he's good at manifesting.
There you go. I think I gotta eat some dinner is what I gotta do. I feel myself slipping away here.
Harry's like, I'm cigarette withdrawal, you guys. I gotta go.
That's absolutely correct.
You never played Dungeons and Dragons, right?
If you need anybody to talk to, I have been there.
I appreciate it very much so. Always a pleasure, friends.
God damn it, Harry.
What?
I love it. I love it.
You never played D&D, right? But you're familiar with like stats, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your constitution in real life? Like on a scale of 1 to 100?
Weak.
Like a 25.
Yeah.
In D&D, hold on, here's my character sheet.
Not high, but my independence,
strength,
my
right?
independent thinking is off the fucking charts.
What?
My independent thinking is off the fucking charts. When I'm done, I'm
Hey,
done.
you suck at poker, though, Harry.
Later, Harry. It was good seeing your face.
All right. Bye-bye, friends.
Bye. I can't believe you got the board right there.
Huh?
Got the board right there. You're like, these are all my strengths.
These are my strengths. I got my character sheet. I'm like 20 strength. So on a scale, it's usually like 1 to 20. So 20 is like, no, you could get higher than 20. 20 is super strong, but there's probably guys in the gym with like a 22, 23 strength.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be like, your world's strongest man guys.
Ah.
But probably the highest expression of a stat you'll see in a human being is 25. When you get above that, now you're talking about divine entities.
Oh.
So, or beasts. Some creatures have, like a whale, might have like a 42 strength.
I would think so. They used to walk on land. We talked about that.
Like the whale, if it hits the ship, it can make a strength check and potentially knock a ship over. So it has a super high strength. So yeah, I wonder. Harry probably has probably like a 6 constitution.
Well, he reminds me of my brother. He thinks he's the smartest person in the room. He's just gonna skate by on things. Like, I'm telling you, this dynamic of all of us, I feel like you guys remind me so much of my family. You guys are my older brother and sister who are like hard on my younger brother. My younger brother's like, it's eerie. It's eerie. Harry's not doing shit right now.
He's what?
He's not.
He has to eat. He's like a fucking anorexic bitch. No, not anorexic. He's like a 16-year-old girl. He's
when you're trying to quit smoking, you need to eat. Like,
yeah.
And
I tell you what, when my dad quit smoking cigarettes, he gained like 40 pounds in like 6 months.
that definitely adds up to what I've seen happen to people. I probably
It's just
substitute a lot
more
of
of
ice
like
cream.
instead of smoking a cigarette, just eat something.
Ike, what'd you say? I just heard something like,
I substitute a lot of ice cream with marijuana. Dangerous.
I feel that. That reminds me, I do have ice cream.
Me too. And I got just tons of dessert always. So
Carrie's a mix of healthy and dessert.
yeah, but I don't eat shit dessert either. I'm not like out there eating like Chips Ahoy and stuff. I got like, bakery desserts. And I eat healthy garbage. I do. It's an absolute.
So you got any fights coming up?
Yeah, I think so.
I know you've been boxing, right, Ike?
Sure.
Today,
What
do you got, like, huh?
Possibly April. Working with the coach. I had my first private lesson ever.
Nice. Where at?
Academy of Boxing.
Oh yeah, you've been training there.
Rewiring the mind. It's like you see how many gaps you have in your footwork. I'm like, damn. I suck.
I'm gonna tell you what. All that shit he's showing you. Wait till you spar me fisticuffs. Ain't even gonna matter.
I'm gonna put Harry in front of me. And you're
He's
gonna
gonna be teaching you parry this, parry that. I'd be like, he ain't throwing that shit. Fucking this, that. But I think these things are illegal in boxing. I don't think you're allowed to like backhand in boxing,
I'm
right?
gonna put like a stick down Harry's sleeves, and he's gonna be standing in front. He's gonna be like, Ike, what are you doing to me? No man, I won't. So how do you guys judge intelligence? Because
Oh no, Harry's super smart. Harry probably has a 16 intelligence. Like usually intelligence. What? How do you judge it? Now there's two different stats in D&D: intelligence and wisdom. So these are two different things. Intelligence is like an intellectual skill. Let's say computer programming. You might need a high intelligence to do computer programming, perhaps, but you might have a terribly low wisdom and make really bad choices. Or you might seem what you would call dumb as fuck, but make really good decisions and have a good sense of things. That would be someone with a high wisdom and a low intelligence. So a lot of times you don't get both stats high. You only get one high. So someone will either be smart or wise. But when you're both, it's pretty epic. It's like a good consigliere. That's like my friend Eddie. He's my consigliere because he has both a very high intelligence, right? So he's a lawyer. So to become a lawyer, you need a minimum of an intelligence, probably about a 13 intelligence, right? Because you would have had to be smart enough to pass the bar. And you probably need a 13 intelligence to study for it and be able to make all the checks to get it. Okay. Now, that guy, though, might have a 6 wisdom. You might be like, this guy's dumb. Because wisdom sometimes you'll think is intelligence. He'll be making bad decisions. You're like, this guy's a fucking lawyer? He's an idiot. Right? Or you'll have a guy that you're like, this guy never went.
Guy or the dumbest smart guy.
Or you'll have a guy like, let's say, my brother, right? Who took his GED and that was it. He left high school and then got his GED. That's the highest level of education. He makes the most money out of all of us, right? He has like a good city job with a side city job, with a side state job, right? And fucking works mad overtime hours. And he knows how to fucking get in the right place and the right gig. But intelligence is not super high, right? But wisdom, he's like, I know what to do here. He's like, city, state. He's like, then the city shit. When you see that happening, he was like, no, I'm going to do side in the island, painting, and keep the state. Because my one brother is super, my one brother is super liberal. My other one is super conservative.
Yeah.
And I used to be considered a moderate until recently. when everything became so polarized that my moderate stance on most issues became instead white supremacist. So I don't know how that happened, but here we are.
Now,
Here we are now. I don't know. The only person that lives in a predominantly minority neighborhood, when the people that say that to me live in what I would call a white neighborhood, but
yeah.
whatever. I was like, how? I was like, because I want to abolish taxes? Why do you want to pay taxes? Ask yourself this question. Or at least less of them.
Less of them.
Or at least less of them. Because if you have money, you go fucking open an account in Aruba and say your company's there. And you make your company that's here just have a license of it. And then pay the company in Aruba all the profit for the license.
Mm.
Right? You make the licensing agreement that Manimal Aruba gets 100% of the sales of Manimal USA. And then I don't pay no taxes on that shit in Aruba.
Mm.
Come find that Aruban bank account. It's not easy. You know, I don't know. I can't do it because I can't fucking go fly to Aruba and start doing this shit. But if you're rich, you can. Although I bet you I probably could just do it online. But I'm not going to do that. You know why? Because I'm an idiot. That's what.
You're not an idiot.
No, you're not. We're all pretty smart. We're hanging out together.
We're all smart. I'm having a good time. Having a good time with you guys tonight. What are we in? Hour 6? What else did we not talk about anything that we wanted to talk about? Mike? Luke Rockhold retires. Well, no. Luke Rockhold free agent.
Oh.
So Luke Rockhold saying he wants to box Jake Paul and Logan Paul.
Mm.
So, I mean, listen, I will say this. At least Luke Rockhold is sizable. Because, first of all, Jake Paul is fighting guys, first, smaller than him, and second, older than me. You know, so he's like, how many advantages can you give a guy?
Mm.
So Luke Rockhold, at least Luke Rockhold's a 205er. So Jake Paul won't have a size advantage like he usually does. Although Luke Rockhold's not exactly at his peak either.
Mm. Free agent. That's good for him.
Boxing, I assume.
That's what he says he wants to do.
That's fair. That's fair.
Who knows? Maybe he winds up in PFL.
I was thinking
makes a great point about Jake Paul that if you looked at any, and I'm just randomly, the first guy I looked up, Ryan Garcia, the boxer, two of his first 10 wins were against guys like 4-20 and 3-9. The first two people I looked up, and I'm like, give Jake Paul credit. He's headlining events. He's main eventing. He's selling out. He's promoting. Like for somebody who's 5-6-0, he's facing these former champions. That guy that Ryan Garcia fought, who was 3-9, he wasn't a UFC champion. He didn't have like an organization on his back like a Silva, a Woodley. Like there's also
my quote from before. That guy shouldn't even be there. 3-9.
Yeah. And that's who they're building their record off on. I'm like, people need to respect Jake Paul. I guess
a lot of guys like that. But it happens. Actually, who knows? That 3-9 guy, maybe he's mad good. And he just had tough fights. That could be too. Maybe I'm being too harsh in my criticism there by just seeing a number. That was wrong of me.
I've heard also the saying, you are what your record is. You know, I've made mistakes in boxing. I understand. So I'm like, I gets it.
Because it's weird. Because sometimes you'll have a guy who's like, and you see it. Sometimes you see it in Bellator. He'll have like a terrible record and beat their like stud. The guy like their contract guy. So, and it depends where those fights are from. Although in boxing, not as much. Boxing they build. MMA, you don't really see those records like that.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be hard to keep Bo Nickel down. Like the smart way would be to like build him up, get him like 10 fights before he like cracks the top 10. but he's gonna be fighting top 5 maybe by the end of this year.
Who's his next fight against? Do they have
It's
anything?
actually on a pay-per-view, the March one with Jones.
Oh.
So they're pushing him.
I mean, I like Bo Nichols. He looked good in his thing, in his contender series fight. But you got to give a guy a few fights. Can't just base it off of one.
That's what I'm saying. And Hawani's pushing him, and I'm like, dude, Hawani hasn't been on the mats for fucking 10 minutes.
For 10 minutes.
Helwani. I can't stand that guy either. I just don't like a guy that don't know shit about the thing he's
talking about.
When you're the reporter on it, you're supposed to be the expert on it, I think, is kind of how you bill it, right? Because you're asking all these questions and all this stuff about the sport. Fuck, you don't know shit. He's so annoying to me. I don't know why. The guy just irks me. And he irked me from the first days of MMA. Maybe it's because I've been in the sport for decades that I remember when he first started, and he just made me feel so cringy the way he would interview fighters, because you could tell the guy's never had his fucking jaw broken before, and it would really straighten him out if he did. But I ain't gonna fucking do it unless he wanted to spar or something. That's up to him. But I can't see him wanting to spar any guy. Not even he. I don't even think he would spar Mark Zuckerberg.
It drove me.
Hawani versus Mark Zuckerberg. I even bet.
Wow. You see Zuckerberg's doing it.
What?
Zuckerberg's doing the damn thing.
Yeah, at least I seen Zuckerberg hit a pad. Ariel Helwani, all I see him do is fucking bitch, and have a bitch fight with Dylan Dennis. Talk about two bitches fighting. Oh my God. I seen cat fights like that between prostitutes before in Vegas on the strip.
Dude, Helwani called Dennis a bitch to his face. I'm like, guys, somebody check this.
It was like the king of bitches telling the other one they're a bitch. It's like Ariel Helwani's like, I'm the fucking biggest bitch. And Dylan Dennis like, no, I am. I just let you call me a bitch.
Bitches.
And didn't say shit. So I'm the bigger bitch. No, I'm the bigger fucking bitch because I called you a bitch. Right? That's what it sounded like to me. I could listen to the interview again, but it might just sound like that again.
That's
what I heard.
On with Helwani?
What?
You see Sean Strickland on with Helwani? He's like, it's crazy that the number one report, and I'm paraphrasing, that the number one reporter doesn't even like the sport he's covering.
Oh, what'd he say?
Oh, Strickland said Helwani doesn't even like MMA, and he was like, Sean, and everybody's like, these fucking teenagers are like clapping for Helwani, and I was like, because he responded, he said, I've been covering MMA since you were in your dad's nutsack, and I was like, who is this guy?
Who is this guy?
I'm all about being yourself from day one. Don't play the corporate side to climb across people's backs and get promotions. And it's like,
to
this is
Ariel Helwani's credit. To Ariel Helwani's credit, he might have been doing it a long time.
Not on ESPN. He's never cursed.
The whole time to me.
Now he curses. Now he's called Heel Wani. He's the anti-company, and I'm like, dude, you're this fucking. Your parents were doctors. You're from Toronto. You went to Syracuse. Shut the fuck up.
Stop.
That makes me want to throw. He just made the second I seen him, especially back in the day.
He's hard. He's hard.
It drove me nuts when somebody's like, "Oh, he's my generation Stern." I was like,
"What?"
I was like, "This guy's your Stern."
Too. Howard Stern. Fuck that guy. That guy built his whole career on free speech and then wants to turn around and be anti-free speech.
I can't.
These guys really fucking changed their tune.
What's the Dark Knight quote? You live long enough to become the villain.
Yeah.
You live long enough to become the villain. Yeah. I think that's why Julius Caesar. So there's a theory that Julius Caesar knew he was going to die, right? That they were going to kill him. And he was like, you know what? I might have to take the L here to set some other shit up. Because also he was this is my opinion, and it's a historical opinion. Some historians have. Julius Caesar was supposed to go fight a war in Parthia in like 3 days before he was killed. And now Julius Caesar to me is the best general ever. Now, every time you fight again, you could die. So, and then it's disgraceful, right? Like if your army gets routed, now the general that was like the best general ever, if you lose a battle and then it becomes a catastrophe, right? Could look really bad. If you die at your peak, just became dictator, he dies at his peak. You know, I don't know. Am I overthinking it?
Interesting.
But some people think, and then he adopted Augustus, who winds up becoming emperor for like 40 years. So he obviously saw something in Augustus that led him to think this would be the better move. Augustus, not a general. Julius Caesar, you know what the problem is with a fighter? They always got to fight. So, you know, at 55, Julius Caesar's like, yeah, I'm going to go campaign again in the East and go avenge that loss. So 10 years before, 3 Roman legions got killed in Parthia, where he was going to go now, that were led by his boy. So he was going on a vengeance mission, but against, you know, a very difficult opponent. Nomadic steppe archers, which is the type of military unit the Parthians had, are very difficult to deal with, as seen by the Mongolians. So they have a similar style to that at an earlier date. They're an earlier version of Mongolians, so a tough opponent.
Mm.
So yeah, and they never go to fuck with that, and they, you know, they don't go to Parthia. They don't really take over much of Parthia or that. The Seleucid Empire. It changes names a ton of times. That area, you know, that Middle Eastern area has been hotly contested since the dawn of recorded history.
True.
Word.
I'm so high. Did I talk too
You
much?
should see the movie The Kingdom of Heaven.
Great movie.
Oh, great movie.
Oh,
Fucking fantastic movie. One of my
Crusades.
there is a director's cut though. It's like
Right.
makes the movie so much better. I
I
just
think
saw
I
it.
have, because I remember watching a couple, like 2 versions of it. Yeah, I definitely have that one. It was a great flick.
Oh, this season of Vikings Valhalla I binge watched today. Pretty good. It's a little brutal, but what are you gonna do? It's a show about Vikings. What are you gonna do out here? You know, but it's like 100 years after the first show, so all different characters.
Oh.
I like Leif Erikson is a character in it. So Leif Erikson, credited as being the first European to land in America in 1,500 years before Columbus.
Hmm.
And in Leif Erikson's saga, I think it's the saga of the Newfoundlanders. They talk about fighting the Native Americans. And remember, this is 500 years before Columbus. So then they settle there. They find some remains in Newfoundland. So Vikings definitely came. They called it Vinland because there were, I guess, wherever they landed, there were a lot of like grapes and vines. So they called America Vinland. And Leif Erikson's the first European being credited with coming here. And his sister Freydis is like the baddest ass, not the baddest ass because Lagertha is, but she's like the second most badass Viking chick in history. So Freydis, when they fight the Native Americans, they're getting their ass kicked. And Freydis comes out and she fucking strips down and cuts her chest and then starts fucking killing, killing dudes, and it gets them shook because she's also like
That's
5
hot.
months pregnant at the time. No, pregnant. She comes out pregnant, takes her clothes off, cuts her chest with her sword, and then starts killing motherfuckers. Then she killed her first husband. I forget what it was over, but whatever. So she's a badass. And she's a pretty good character on the show, so I'm into it. I love a strong female warrior character. So
That's why I know you're significant other strong, because she's very nice. I'm like, how did she get paired up with John? I go, she has to be tough.
Very nice. How did she get paired? Yeah.
I go, this doesn't make sense. She has to be tough because it like attracts.
Yeah,
Like, if she was just a pushover, it wouldn't work.
she's way tougher than you would imagine on the surface.
There
Yes.
you go.
So yeah, I mean, and she is from the hood, so don't get it twisted.
She was cutting her chest in the hood and swinging around a knife.
No, these stories can't really be told on the podcast.
We could go back to HOA.
No. Oh my God. When my wife first started teaching, she was teaching in Jefferson High School. And fucking that place was so wild. I freaking dude, I go to did I tell you this story? I threw a kid. No?
No.
Okay. So this is like 2007, 2008. So Tabby's like, I'm teaching Beowulf. You should come do a demonstration on, like, Icelandic wrestling. I was like, I'd love to do that. And this is younger Manimal too. So remember, like, I'm like 27 or 28. I was like, oh yeah, I'd love to do that. And I go in, I bring one of my boys, and we have like stick fighting. We go to a high school in the ghetto with essentially bats and armor, and we start beating the shit out of each other. So then I invite the kids to do this with us as well. How much fun is this? And of course they love it. But then one kid, he drops the stick and he goes to crack me. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So I throw him and I fucking knock him out. Now, and this is in class. Now the whole class is like, oh shit, right? It's a fucking high school class. I'm neon belly on this kid. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
You purple belt at this time or blue belt?
Purple belt, probably purple belt. I have to say I was a purple belt at this time. And my boy's with me, and he's like, I think we should go. I was like, yeah, you're right. I was like, all right, thanks, guys. Great class. The kid's like, yo, Mr. Beneducci fucked up Fagan. I was like,
You did.
I was like, oh God. Thank God it was the ghetto, and it was like before the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see the recent video with the student going to a teacher and like getting tough?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't understand the context, but the teacher was like,
this kid swung now.
Yeah. The
and then you see the liberal arts teacher coming. I have no idea what subject that guy was teaching, but the liberal arts teacher's like, break it up, guys, break it up.
Get up! Stop it! Stop now!
Don't bring back gay.
Damn it!
Well, everybody's like, what?
And the kid was a super senior, so he was like 19, maybe 20. Yo, I've never. Oh my God! One day we go to see. I don't know. We go to see some shit in the city, and you know where they have all the bars like for scaffolding. So the kids are doing pull-ups, right? And I was like, oh, I'm gonna do pull-ups too, but I couldn't reach. And she had this football player who was like,
pick me up, Anton.
Yo, yeah, Anton was like 6'8", 330, the linebacker, and he was like, yo, Mr. Deuce Deuce, I got you. And he just picked me up like a feather. And I'm like, oh, fucking cock. I'm on the ball. I was like, okay, thank you. But I'm like, my God, this teenager, this 18-year-old kid he just was like, yeah, I got you. He's like, you're a feather. I got you. I was like, oh God. I was like, thanks, bro. Thanks, Anton. Oh, shit. All right. Sorry, guys. Was I too high and talking too much? Was that too much animal story time?
You scared off Harry right now. He's crying.
He's mad. No, he's fine.
You know what I think it was?
Yes.
That made Harry uncomfortable. And
You gotta get Harry in a fight.
No, he didn't want to admit it. The word moist made him uncomfortable.
Wait, I didn't get that. I was writing these stupid ass quotes. Which I love.
No, his energy was off as soon as he came on because of the cigarette thing.
Yeah.
I don't think the word moist got him fucking mad at all.
Joking.
Triggered. That's what.
Yes, I'm like, he was like angry about cigarettes from the jump.
Nicotine's
You
a
know
hell of
what?
a drug.
You're a motherfucker, Harry. I'm with you on that. I had a hard time quitting, but it did.
Hey, dog moist.
Oh, boy.
Hey, dog.
It's not even a word I like use often, so it was just like
Wait, what? People can't say wet.
oh yeah, there's a lot of people that might get offended about that one too. You know.
You guys ever hear Ben Shapiro reading the lyrics of WAP, the
God.
Cardi B song?
Get a bucket and a mop. That's some wet ass pussy. No, you never heard that song?
No.
Never.
No.
I
No.
think
Do you want me to sing it, Ike?
Nah.
yes. Yeah, I do the lyrics while I sing Africa.
No, please stop that. Please stop. Stop.
So
I hope that
WAP is
Sarah
your.
is
I mean,
over
Africa is
African.
your WAP. That triggers you. Africa triggers you.
Only because I've heard it so much already this week that I really don't. And at the Smokers Club too.
It was playing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh god, I
All of a
can't get
sudden,
away from
smash.
this.
Shut your shit.
I think your kid said the podcast is over.
Yeah. He's like, Dad, calm down.
Dad,
He's
I
triggered.
don't want to half in.
He's triggered.
He doesn't like Africa either.
Oh,
The
yeah?
song,
Like the
people.
country
The
or the
song. The song, people.
Oh my God, I can't. The fact that we have to like emphasize that now. Oh, I can't. Next thing you
All
know,
right.
be hated.
So yeah, guys, follow at Manimal John for me.
At
Oh.
K-Dog. No.
Tell
In
her
the
what.
girls' corner.
Yeah.
At Ictagon. And Harry's the bookies. Living in his mom's basement.
Oh, I didn't ask Harry how he did betting wise. Wait, what'd you say? I say that again. Sorry.
The bookie lives in his mom's basement.
And actually, he doesn't. So
No.
No, but it's
Actually, we should just we need to pick on him more. I feel like we're hinting at a cracking point.
I thought tonight
I
was
just want to rip it out. I know he's going through a lot, but I'm the weird. Maybe it's sadistic or something. I like to rip the root out, and I think he needs to express it.
all right. Let's
I mean, he's your boy. You can torture him if you want to.
yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Only you can torture your boys.
Well, for
Are you
full
really friends
transparency,
if you can't torture your boys?
my son jumped off the couch, smashed his head when it was muted, and then I punched a hole in the closet door. So,
Oh.
Harry, I'm speaking.
What happened?
Yes, I could. I'll send a photo.
Yeah. Okay. Stay moist, my friends.
Stay moist. Avengers. This will be a great year. We will
Avengers disassemble.